Deep in the heart of Nigeria, nestled between rolling hills and golden savannas, lay the village of Umuorin. It was a place where the sun kissed the earth with a golden glow, and the Harmattan winds carried the scent of distant rains. Life in Umuorin was simple yet vibrant, woven together by the traditions of the ancestors, and the whisper of the ancient baobab tree that stood at the village square. The baobab was said to be as old as time itself, its roots entwined with the spirits of the land. The elders spoke of how it whispered secrets to those who listened closely. It was under this tree that villagers gathered to settle disputes, tell stories, and make decisions that shaped their lives. One evening, as the villagers gathered beneath the baobab for the moonlight tales, an unfamiliar figure arrived. He was a tall man, draped in a flowing white agbada, his face marked with the wisdom of years. His name was Akinkwo, and he had once been a son of Umuorin. Before he left for the city, he returned now, speaking of progress and change. "My people," Akinkwo began, his deep voice commanding attention, "our village is beautiful, but it is time we embrace the future. The city has roads, schools, and hospitals. We, too, can have these things." The elders exchanged glances, their faces lined with caution. Chief Obiora, the oldest man in Umuorin, cleared his throat. "My son, Umuorin has thrived for generations without the ways of the city. What do you propose?" Akinkwo smiled. "A factory, a palm oil mill, that will bring wealth to us all. No longer will our people have to sell their produce for little in distant markets. With this factory, Umuorin will prosper." There was murmuring among the villagers. The younger ones, eager for change, nodded in agreement. The older ones, bound by tradition, hesitated. The baobab rustled softly, as if whispering a warning. After days of deliberation, the village council agreed to Akinkwo's plan. The palm oil factory would be built at the edge of the village, near the river. Work began swiftly, and soon, the land where children once played, and hunters sharpened their arrows was filled with the sounds of machines. At first, the factory brought excitement. Men had jobs, women found new ways to sell their goods, and traders from nearby towns came to Umuorin. But then, the river began to change. The water that once ran crystal clear now carried an oily sheen. Fish, once plentiful, dwindled. Farmers noticed that their crops grew weaker. The whispers of the baobab grew louder. One night, a fierce storm swept through Umuorin. The winds howled, the rain pounded the earth, and lightning danced across the sky. In the morning, the villagers discovered something that sent shivers down their spines. The baobab had split in two. The elders gathered, their faces dark with foreboding. "The tree has stood for centuries," Chief Obiora murmured. "Its fall is a sign." But Akinkwo dismissed their fears. "It is just a tree. Superstitions will not feed our children." Yet, the villagers could not shake the unease in their hearts. As months passed, the factory that once promised prosperity became a curse. The river, once a source of life, turned bitter. Women walked farther to fetch clean water. The village healer, Mama Nina, noticed more children falling ill. She warned the council, but Akinkwo refused to listen. Then, one fateful day, tragedy struck. Obinna, a young boy known for his bright laughter, went to the river to play. When he did not return, his mother's wails echoed through the village. A search party found him lifeless by the riverbank, his small hands stained with the poisoned water. The village erupted in sorrow and anger. Akinkwo, once their beacon of hope, now stood accused. "You have brought death to our land," the people cried. Council was called beneath the broken baobab. The elders, the youths, the mothers, and even the spirits of the ancestors seemed to gather. Chief Obiora spoke first. "We welcome change. But at what cost? Our river is dying. Our children are falling. The land cries." Akinkwo, his confidence shaken, fell to his knees. "I only wanted progress," he whispered. "But progress must not come at the price of our souls," Mama Nina said. "We must return to balance." The decision was made. The factory would be shut down. The river would be cleansed through rituals and time. The land, though wounded, would heal. As the villagers dismantled the factory, they planted new trees where the baobab had stood. Months passed, and one morning, a young girl named Ada ran to the square, eyes wide with wonder. "Come, the tree speaks again." Where the old baobab had fallen, a sapling had begun to grow. Its leaves danced in the wind, whispering secrets only the earth could understand. Umuorin had learned its lesson. The village would embrace growth, but never again at the cost of its soul. And so, the whispers of the baobab continued, reminding all who listened of the delicate balance between tradition and change.